I'm finally gonna put these in the oven. The instructions said to really douse them in water for added steam. So that's what I did, even though I've never had to steam bake before. I have already learned so much. For starters, I definitely need like a bigger sheet pan so that all of these guys can, at least most of them, so I'm not using like 3 separate little pans. But at least I had 3 pans to use. So okay, lower to 400, bake for 12 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna do 12 minutes on, just on the shallow or the shorter end, just, in case I have to check them. And we ordered Chipotle for dinner, so I really shouldn't have eaten like 8 Oreos earlier, but here we are. I will see you in 12-ish minutes. My food literally got here basically right after I turned the camera off. So here's my tacos. I must have seen a mukbang or something because I just randomly started getting crunchy tacos from Chipotle, and I've literally never done this in my life. And now I've done it like 2 or 3 times. And I think I really love the chimichurri sauce. This time I didn't do any rice. I just got meat, beans, cheese, guac, pico de gallo, corn salsa, and my little sauce. So it looks like I have, where's my timer? I have 10 minutes to see how many of these I can eat. So now I'll be right back. Okay, timer just went off. I had about 2.5 tacos. Chimichurri is spicier than I remember. Delicious. And the kitchen right now, it just smells so buttery and amazing. I gotta find a place to put everything though. I was too busy eating. I'm nervous to look. Okay, they're adorable. They need about 5 more minutes, maybe? Okay, so they are not as golden brown as the pictures. I think that has to do more with the fact that I was a little shy with the water because I was just unsure. But it says 12 to 15. I guess we gotta just taste them now. Oh? Yeah. Oh, these do look browner. Sorry. There's a lot of melty butter though. Oh, it's hot. Okay, they actually are very pretty, but I'm not mad. I already had a couple of learning moments. The first one happened early. I only had salted butter. So the recipe dough itself has salt, and then you're supposed to add in unsalted butter for the dough, but I only had salted. So I was really nervous that it would be too salty. But then I ran out to the store while I was waiting for the first proof and got unsalted butter. So I put that and I rolled the dough around that, and then I put salt on top. So I hope that it balanced out. But yeah, I'm a little worried. Some of the bottoms look a little bit brown, and that just might be because of how I baked them in these pans and these types of pans. So yes, there is already some variables that we have to remember for the next batch. But this was actually surprisingly easy, and I see now why people just add all kinds of stuff in these, because the dough itself is very, very simple. And if I could just learn to cut the butter like a normal person, it'd probably be fine. Okay. Here we go. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna blame the pan for this. I'm gonna try to get you guys in the mic. Get the crunch. They're all sort of the same degree as charred, except the ones in this back pan. Oh no, it's not. How is this not on stick? I think I thought I didn't have to spray it too because there's like a bunch of butter. But at least these aren't burnt. They were stuck, but they weren't burnt. It's crazy because it makes sense, but it even seems like the bakes are a bit different. It could be just with like how I rolled them. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go out at some point this weekend and get some proper pans. Or maybe do a little bit of research about why these ones burned, but these ones didn't burn. These two flat ones, this pan and this pan, were on the same rack. This one was on the lowest. This is a brand new pan, and I didn't spray any of them. I still want to make it closer and truer to like how the recipe says it should be, so I'm still gonna swab everything. I'm gonna give this other half to Alex. This is my second try for the salt bread. I got the right butter this time, and I'm also going to be baking on this tray with parchment paper, even though the recipe explicitly says no parchment paper. But I think it'll still be better than the last time because I was using 3 different random pans for some reason. And yeah, I don't know if I should do an experiment and like put parchment on half of this pan and then not on the others. I don't know. I also got hot dogs to make a pig in the blanket for this batch. So I'll check in again once they're rolled. Okay, I chopped up the butter square chunks. And then I've got these all beef franks. I'm gonna cut these about the same size as the butter. And then I'm gonna roll these salted bread buns out. Last time, I made them way too wide. I went from the instructions and not like the video tutorial. The visual did help. And maybe it's not good to like throw in another variable like meat, but it's happening. I think these look a little bit closer to hers. So we're gonna just try it. I also feel like this time around the dough is almost like it's a little bit stickier, but just a little teardrop shape. And then like this, like that, sticking like that is kind of crazy to me. Trying not to use flour because she says like you really shouldn't need to use extra flour, but the first batch that I made, I didn't need any flour, so that just tells me I don't think I had it in the mixer long enough, I think I probably could have done a little bit longer for a little bit faster. So I'm curious to see how much that's going to impact this batch. Oh, I guess we will find out. Also, I need to get like a food grade spray bottle because it's funny using the hair mister in here, but she also says in this recipe like 20 pumps. And I didn't count last time, but this time I'm gonna count. Okay, so that's 1 stick of butter, and I use all the hot dogs. The last 4 are gonna just be plain. And I am just trying to add enough flour so that things aren't sticking. I really don't want to mess with the dough texture too much at all. I already know that that's gonna change the way some of them look, which is, again, just fine. I'm gonna learn what I can from this batch, make another batch tomorrow or Monday. And hey, it's better that the last 4 look like an improvement than none at all, okay? And plus, at least we know that these are gonna taste good. Here's what we're working with over here. I have to see if these are supposed to rest one more time. But I'm gonna test these on the parchment. I'm nervous. I don't know which one's gonna be better. This one's already stuck. This was the first one I did, so she's kind of special. These look too close together. Let me go double check the recipe. Okay, so they do have to proof for one more time. So I'm gonna put some clean dish towels down, and then it's gonna be ready for the spray and the salt and the preheating of the oven. Let's hope that these puff up one more time. So I'm looking at the recipe now. We're gonna hope that these double in size, and then after that, I preheat the oven to 450. I spray the rolls with water and then sprinkle the pretzel salt, which I got some actual pretzel salt instead of flaky salt. Sprinkle that on, and just before baking, spray each roll generously, about 20 pumps for added steam. Each roll 20 times. And you know, I think that makes sense. I thought I was doing it generously, and I kind of did, but the whole buns, like the whole top of the bun, did not turn brown, like golden brown. So I'll try that. And then I lower the oven to 400, and then you bake for 12 to 15 minutes. So you want it ripping hot at 450 and then lowering it to 400. And then 12 to 15 minutes after that, we will have our second batch of salt bread. I'm excited. Here's what we're working with. It's been only like 5-ish minutes, so I'm gonna let them hang out. The other day, I was actually messing with the heat in the house to try to get the proofing situated, which is really silly, but you know. I will check in. Hopefully they'll be double in size. These did not puff up nearly as much as I wanted or needed them to, but it's getting late and we want to eat these. So we'll start with a light spray just to get the salt to stick. I put them in the oven. We're gonna try 12 minutes. Wish me luck. Oh my god, they're hot. Oh, okay. They're hot. My family is gonna love these. We're back with batch 3. For this one, I had it kneading in the machine for maybe 20 minutes, and I can already tell the window pane test, like just the way that the dough is coming off of the hook is a lot different from last time. And part of the reason why it's hard for me right now is just like there's some sort of like malfunction with my mixer. The bowl flies off of the, like it comes unlocked if it goes too fast. So I can't leave it on medium for too long because the bowl. Anyways, also I got this amazing silk pad. Let's see. And here's the before. She needs to be twice the size in an hour. I love shaping dough, it's so fun. And right now it is 2:17. In the meantime, I'm gonna clean up the station, get ready for the bench proofing, and I might try to squeeze some steps in. I'm at almost 3,000 right now. Been in kind of a funk because I was a bit of a social butterfly this weekend, and let's just say the bounce back doesn't really have that buoyancy that I used to have. So yeah, I needed a moment to recover from that. But I feel like normal again, so I'm gonna just try to get 10,000 steps and pretend like everything's fine and I'm okay. So I'm gonna check in an hour and I'll have some updates. I'm back from my walk. I think I got like a little over 3,000 extra steps. I'm at 6,000 now. My dough didn't really rise the way I wanted it to. I blame it on the fact that I'm too scared to let it like be on medium speed for too long, because it literally like it comes out of the it comes off of the thing and it goes crazy. So I still think it's gonna be okay. I don't think it's the temperature because it's actually quite warm. I'm just going to continue on because that's what you do. Now I have to portion them all out into, I think, 80 grams and then let it proof one more time. So I'm going to do that. The dough feels fine. 80 grams. 80. I keep doing 81. Damn it. So I'm gonna cut up my butter now, but I also want to add cheese, maybe the rest of the hot dogs, but I know it's probably not a great idea because I keep messing with the variables, so it makes it hard to know where the issue is, but I think more than anything, it matters that it tastes good, and they do taste good, so. About a stick and a half of butter. Got my string cheese. One stick I'm gonna be cutting into 8 squares. I'm trying to do this as even as possible, but I have a crooked eye. Should I put cheese and hot dog in one, or should I just do one cheese, one hot dog? Some with both and some without? I'm rolling them with cheese right now, and they look okay. Teardrop. Flip. This is where I want it to be kind of pretty. See the seams? All they need now is one more steam spray, and then I'm gonna bake them. There's hot dog and cheese on the 2 outside rolls, and then just cheese in the middle ones. I kind of made this one smaller just to see what would happen, but I do want them to look more uniform. I think that will come with time, but yeah, I hope they turn out good because I'm excited. Okay, so we're back from our walk, and I have the 3rd batch in the oven, and they look maybe the best yet. I think I've truly figured some things out here, hopefully. And I'm still trying to troubleshoot whatever's wrong with the mixer. I've looked up a tutorial, but it wants me to like look at the motor and undo the motor, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. For now though, doing an easy dinner. We're just doing tuna. We're doing salmon and salad and some buns. And I usually just go with, we had it this summer and I just haven't looked back. And then also sumac, which was random, but like really good on seafood because it's like citrusy. Skin side up 4 minutes. Flip that sucker over. Salad's about done. I'm going to turn off the oven and let the residual heat make these a little bit browner. Ta-da! They're beautiful. And they're cheesified. I'm gonna break one of these buns open. My God, they're hot. Cheese pull. Hot. Oh God. Take 4. I want to walk you guys through this batch. So to start, 400 grams of, this is 120 grams of cake flour. I'm not sure of the exact difference, but there is a difference. And I'm gonna do all the dry ingredients first. There is butter and cold water, but I'll add those towards the end. Next is 26 grams of sugar, and then I believe it's 10 grams of salt. Yep, I'm starting to memorize some of the measurements, which is hilarious. 30 grams of the non-fat dry milk. I want to say that is what adds its like chewiness. Really good. Next, we need 365 grams of ice cold water and 40 grams of cold butter. So I've got my ice water here, and one liberty I'm gonna take is I'm gonna do salted butter. It was an accident the first time, but I think it just gave the buns a more savory taste, and it's something I think will go well with Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm using the good butter. I've got the Kerrygold out for this one since these are the ones I gotta bring over. The idea with the cold ingredients is that because it has to be kneaded for so long, that's gonna generate its own heat, and that can just impact it can make the dough too sticky, it can make it too warm, which, you know, this is chemistry, so these things matter. All right, cold ingredients are sorted. I'm really excited about this batch because I also replaced my plate. This plate, I couldn't leave this on medium, and I need that in order to develop the dough and the yeast and to get the puffiness that I need. So I ordered a replacement base plate and I replaced it, and so it feels a lot more snug. I don't think it'll be as scary now to leave this thing. I'm gonna add this dough hook, lock it into place, and then we're just gonna stir it until it's shaggy. You're not gonna believe this, but I forgot to add the yeast into that dough. But I looked it up and apparently that's okay to add it after the fact. I literally had it kneading for like 20 minutes by the time I noticed. But actually this dough is gorgeous. It's not wet. Put this into a nice little dough ball. The bowl barely proofed at all, and I know it's because of the issues with the mixer. So I'm gonna start on my second batch, which is when I noticed I forgot to add the yeast, and I'm gonna let this one start proofing. So 6:45, we will check back in on her, and it should be noticeably proofier. That's what we want. Here's take two. One way that I've really been able to tell like when the dough is ready is it's just not like sticking to the sides when it's like going around the bowl, and like it's supposed to be sticky, and I think I said this earlier, but it's not supposed to be wet. So like you should be able to handle it, and it should be able to like kind of like silly putty, like stick to itself. Dough number two. I put the other dough in the oven on the lowest temperature, and as it was like preheating, I cut the heat, and then I I cut the heat, then it opened up the oven door because I'm not trying to cook it, but I do need it to have some warmth. So I'm trying to be creative with the lack of a proofing oven. And I'm pretty sure proofing is just like, it's like a warm, damp space. So it's only been about 30 minutes. Second bowl, second dough. Not yet. Looks like the dough proofed a bit here in the end. There's just some air at the bottom. Let it breathe a bit. So now I have to portion them out into 80 grams. This part is kind of fun, but I just wish that I was faster at like eyeballing it, like feeling it out, but it's fine. That's 80. There's the first batch. Let's see how dough 2 looks. See those bubbles? That's what I want. I just always expect it to get like way bigger, but maybe this is fine. So I'm gonna and now I am going to dig us out this next batch. Nice and sticky. It also makes sense since I added the yeast towards the end with that last one, and then this one I added it. It was in there when it was supposed to be in there. This is how I know that this dough is nice and poofy, like all these air bubbles. I think that that is a really good sign. So now I'm gonna shape these and add the rest of these and then add them in here. I honestly have half a mind to make one more batch. I could make 2 more batches. Maybe, I actually think that my mixer I think it'll be fine. It was definitely hot when I had it constantly beating earlier, but I'm just haunted by this image of not having enough food. And like, to me, enough food means also enough leftovers. It's a zoom in shot of me shaping these. I'm just tucking the bottom into itself and I'm tightening it so that it's smooth. If I had bigger hands, it works to do it like this. This is faster. You get less control, and I think my hands are a little small. But when I used to work at the bakery, people used to just be so fast at this part. But that was for sourdough hot dog buns, so a little different. For the croissants, because these remind me a lot of croissants. But for the croissants, traditionally, apart from the lamination, those are sheets of dough that you cut into triangles and then roll in that crescent shape. These are sort of a hybrid. And see, like right now, I think I have there's like 24 here, which is enough for everyone to have 2, but it's not enough for leftovers. 1 stick is 8 pieces, and I did decide to make like 2 more batches. Let's see if the first batch has finally proofed to my liking. Heavy. Oh, they actually have. Yay. I'm gonna keep these covered for now. They are significantly puffier. I think it's really been working for me to like turn my oven into a proofer. But I'm going to divide this dough. Let's see if it passes the window pane test. Oh, it's quite sticky still.
There's another rod.
I think I'm gonna have to keep it going, unfortunately for you, Mr. Machine. But it's nearly there.
I'll also find that tomorrow.
Oh my god. Doubling the dough.
That's full on.
is not as like, you think it's so simple, like, oh, just double the recipe. And I was trying to be lazy because I just didn't want to have to repeat everything and do it twice. I thought, oh, this is efficient. Hey babe.
Yeah?
Now I can't get it out because I had it mixing and it was so heavy that I feel like it just jammed it in, you know, because of the force of things. I just got really distracted trying to detail all of the dough off of my mixer. It gave my rolls a chance to rise a bit more. Look at that. They are super puffed up. I'm gonna prep these guys for baking. I'm worried that some of these are a little too close together. And what's important is they're gonna taste good. I mean, I really want them to be pretty. And I feel like, you know, when you get the components down, like the material, like foundational parts down, it's a little bit more fun to like focus on the, oh my God, on the presentation. Now actually I'm kind of worried that these are overproofed. So funny. Maybe I'm just getting greedy, you know? Like these guys over here. That is cute. And the way that I have them positioned is also crazy. And I wasn't even going to use this pan, but I have them stuck together. So now I've got to do 20 sprays for